Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to another review. The game we're reviewing today is Mocharia Deluxe. Another entry in the hit Papa Louie franchise coming to Steam, which is always the best time of the year, and I just wanted to briefly talk about it. I say briefly because there isn't much to talk about with these games. But I will anyway, because I want to. So, we're going to be splitting the review, as always, into 4 parts concerning gameplay, visual, story, and soundtrack. No divisions for spoiler-free and spoiler-full. Obviously, it's not that kind of game. Let's just get into it. So as for the gameplay, it is, just as always with Papa games, super addictive, great flow, very fun, just overall great. I will say that this is probably the most complex Papa's game I've ever played. And I've played pretty much all of them. Not all of them to the same degree, but I have at least tried every single one. And this is definitely one of the more complicated ones. It's so getting into the actual gameplay loop is not as might not come as easily as in some of the other titles, because there is just a lot to do and there's a lot of things that you can get confused on. For example, you might be making, multiple of the same type of coffee or the same type of milk but with different amounts, and then you might get them mixed up. I've done that a few times. Another thing is, sometimes when your customers want to have something at the bottom of the cup, that always fucking used to fuck me up at the start of the game, because I had already gotten into the habit of adding the milk and the coffee first. So that's another thing you can get caught on. But you can get into the loop. Like, you're gonna be making hundreds, if not thousands, of coffee cups in this game, and it will eventually become just second nature to you. It's just that I feel, compared to some of the other Papa's titles, this one is probably the hardest to get into. Yeah. But it's still great. Like, once you do actually get how everything works, it does flow just as well as any other Papa game. So no real complaints there, just an observation. Let's move on to the visual part. So the Papa Louie art style is one of the greatest art styles in gaming history. It is incredibly nice to look at. Just an actual masterpiece in visual design. No complaints there. You couldn't find them if you tried. So now let's move on to the story part. So, as with every Papa game, once again, this game tells a compelling narrative, telling the story of how a poor, struggling, minimum wage worker gets tricked by the master manipulator Papa Louie into working at one of his restaurants till the day they die. It's incredibly touching. I'm always just shocked at how tragic the story of all these games is, and how it presents corporate greed, and how corporations will do anything to take advantage of the little guy. I always just shed tears at the intro to every single one of these games. It's truly just another level of writing. As for the soundtrack, I actually didn't listen to it like at all. I just listened to my own music, but I bet it's decent. So all jokes aside, once again, this is just, like, you can't go wrong with these Papa's games. I think they're all I think they're all super fun. They are just like they're just classics that still hold up really well and I think are super fun to play. And I am once again glad that Flipplane Studios is putting them on Steam for everyone to play, since the Flash versions are not exactly in the best shape anymore. I am still waiting for Pastaria Deluxe. If by some miracle it's in the making, please. I mean, whichever one you make next, I will buy it, but maybe you could consider, if you're watching this, developers, which I doubt you are, but if we could get a Pastaria Deluxe, that'd be great. Yeah, that would make me very happy. But whichever one you put out next, I will buy it. So like, it's not that I'll be disappointed if you don't give us Pastaria Deluxe. But please, pretty please, yeah. But that's about it for the review. See you guys whenever I see you.